Hello, dear students. I am Dr. Kapil Chaturvedi, Associate Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Sagar Institute of Research and Technology, Sage Group, Bhopal. Today, we will discuss our third lecture of Module 1 under the topic Conventional Software Management. So, first of all, we will have to understand what is conventional software management. Before starting that topic, we will discuss the official definition of that. So the conventional software management, in the past, organizations used conventional software management. This management utilized custom tools and process and virtually custom components built in primitive languages. Thus, the performance of the project was very much predictable in the schedule, cost, and quality. Basically, this is the mechanism which provide the concept of usability, customized tools, built-in languages, uh, uh, interfaces. Conventional software engineering will have to focus on mainly focus on these following points under the conventional software engineering. The goal of software project management is to understand, plan, measure, and control the project such that it is delivered on time and was on budget. So basically, that thing in right now we focus companies basically focus on how we can complete the project in given time in and under the budget. This involves gathering requirements, managing risk, monitoring and control progress, and following a software development process. So now each and every process of software development is well defined and well organized because the software development process, software companies follow a specific model, and also the continuously monitor that project by using software project management softwares. Uh, Conventional software management practices are sound in theory, but practices is still tied to archaic technology and techniques. As we discussed in the last lectures, these models, as we discussed in the last slide, now each and every software project follow the different software models to implement the software project. So that are the models which is used in the software development process, like waterfall model, which we discussed in the last lecture, where requirement analysis, system design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance phases are followed. While following the concept of waterfall model, which says that first of all we'll have to complete one work, then we'll have to move on the next step. We cannot move on with incomplete task of one phase. Then we discuss the incremental model, where we discuss if we have a large project, then we will divide that project in multiple modules, and that modules follow the same stages of SDLC to implement these increments, and at last we merge, we compile, and we assemble these increments in a single project and make a complete project. So this one is an incremental model, and that one is a spiral model, which is used for the large project to complete that project in well-mannered form and in given time. That model is also discussed in the last lecture. I'm showing this again to you because here we are discussed that we will use some specific models to complete our software process. In this involves gathering requirement, managing risk, monitoring and controlling process, and following software development processes. So that kind of process, it means we follow the specific kind of models. So that we are discussing here different kind of modules. Then we discuss the component based software development, which is most decent model and most used model in the recent scenario, which because that component based software development model provide the concept of reusability, in which in the engineering and construction and the release phase, we use the concept of reusability, where we focuses on the reusability concept, where we check the component is available in the library. Lookup component in the library, it means we are finding our component in the library. If that component is available, then we'll have to extract that. And if we will new component if that component is not available. And in both of the cases, we will add that newly constructed component, or we fetched component with modification in the library, and we add that the component, finally we add that component in our project. So that model provides the concept of reusability, which is the need of our software industry in today's scenario. Then in the conventional software engineering process, there are two types of conventional software engineering process. Conventional software process model, which follow the analysis, design, implement, unit test, integration test, and system test. This is a basic SDLC steps which follow in the previous model. What in component-based software development model, the scenario is some kind different, where analysis and component acquisition phases will be go on the parallel mode, and component oriented design will be the second phase, and component composition is the third phase. It means in this phase we are analyzing the existing system, as well we are trying to find out that which component is available in will be available in our library, and analyzed component and available component will be we will make a design on the basis of this information, and we implement the newly analyzed component, as well we existing component will be put here, and at last we will make we will combine that both kind of modules, either newly component or existing component. And thereafter, by completing the module, we perform the testing on the different modules, and then perform the integration testing, and finally we test the system testing. We will perform the system testing. So that is something different, because that is the advanced model and recent model which is used in the recent software industry. As we discuss conventional software engineering task is growing continuously, and the mechanism of functioning is continuously modified. So here is an improved model for component-based software development, which give a complete scenario of recent software industry, where you are seeing that component development life cycle, component development cycle, and component-based software development cycle. There are two layers, and here you are seeing that system requirement, system specification and decomposing, system maintenance, system development, system testing and verification, system implementation, component assemble, wrapping, and gluing, component adaptation and verification. So there we are talking about the different components, assembling and merging and implementing. Here we are checking that system requirement, we are finding working on the system requirements. Here we are checking the system specification, component requirement, and selections will be made on these steps. And here we have the complete repository, where we are making where we have a complete library of the component. So here we are first of all we are identifying the components, and we are making the complete component based software development process in this layer. And here new component implementation, packing, verification, testing, maintenance and release, domain engineering, and domain specification architecture. So here we are seeing that two layers. This layer is working on the newly construction, and that layer is working on the reusability concept or existing components. And at last we are merging both of the layers and make a complete software. Now that screenshot, I'm taking that screenshot from one of the research paper of Asif Irshad Khan, Muhammad Motair Khan, Alam Nurul, and Usman Ali Khan. This is the research paper which is entitled Validation of Component-Based Software Development Model Using Formal B Method. I'm showing that research paper to you because I would like to show you that the software process is not, software development process is not fixed. Project under the software project management, if we are talking specifically about the software development, then we cannot say that the process is fixed. We have to just use SDLC, we'll have to just use waterfall model, or we cannot say that we are using the component based software development or a spiral model or any other model, and just using that we can implement a recent software development, software because the now need is different. Softwares are of different kind, and now not we are using the concept of cloud computing, data science, data analytics, and we are equipped our software with machine learning, artificial intelligence, and some of the sub projects are IoT based. So in various kind of technology are available in the market. We are seeing that technology continuously growing. We are using the cell phones, smartphones we are using, and we are using the smart application, and each and everyone want a smart application with artificial intelligent logics. Some of want machine learning logic, some of want to use the IoT sensors and want to use that IoT sensors with the applications. So I would like to say you that the need is totally changed, and now software requirements are not simple. As problems are complex, then solution will be difficult. So each and every day we see that researchers work on that, and they launch a newly constructed models to develop software development models. So in this slide, I would like to show you that the research is going on, continuously going on the new constructions on software models. So by completing all the discussions on that topic, I would like to come back on the first slide, where now we can easily understand what is the scenario right now of the software development, and from the initial step of the software development, what was the scene on that time. So the software development process was started in 1960s. And that was the conventional generation of the software development. Conventional software development generation was 1960s to 1970s. That generation says that there was no implemented module was available, and each and every module was newly constructed. So that says that organizations use custom tools, customer process, and virtually all custom components built in primitive languages. Project performance was highly predictable in that cost. Schedule and quality objectives were almost always underachieved. So that generation says that there was no advanced technology was available, and each and every module was constructed newly in primitive languages like COBOL, Pascal, C++. COBOL, Pascal, and initial level languages was available on that time. But in the transition generation, which was 1980s to 1990s, concept of reusability was come. Which says that the 30% module was already available in the library, where 70% was newly constructed. So that concept of reusability was used in the 1980s to 1990s, where software engineers use the existing modules, but the ratio of that 70% of modules will be newly constructed, and some of the modules was available in the library. About 30% of modules was available in the library. So that was our revolution of the software industry, which used the concept of reusability. And recently, the recent generation of software development is modern practices, which was 2000 onward, which says that now we have advanced models are available to develop the softwares, and most of the components are available in the library. So if we see about if we talk about the ratio of that, then we realize that 70% of modules are available in the library, and we'll just have to implement 30% of modules uh, newly to implement our software. So this is the revolution where we are using only 30% of part of the softwares. Uh, as we see that in the software industry, uh, some of the customer comes and says that I have to I need a software for my hotel management. Some of says that college management, school management, bank management, banking system, UPI transactions, gateways, and fabric company, pharma company. So any kind of softwares we want to be implement newly, as we see that that kind of software is already developed. So the software companies use the reusability concept and make that software fastly. And as the revision now, I can see that so the conventional software, so I explains you that lecture in reverse manner. First of all, I explain you what is our revolution, how we use the models, how we use different models, and how conventional and component based software development model work. And then we discuss the recent technology and recent mechanisms, and then we go on the history. So this is our conventional software engineering uh, topic, and in the next lecture we'll discuss the further discussions on software project management. Thank you.